There was a time when I didn't think I'd get back into it. I had a health scare, I had a bleed on the brain, and I really, for a long time, didn't think I would enter back into the training game. I dabbled in a little bit of breeding, and just to keep an interest. But a few years ago, probably about 4 years ago now, my mate Don and Wardlaw, who's in the horses with me, he had a successful business. He retired, and we were having a beer one day, and we decided, well, we'll give it one more throw of the dice and see how we go, and we'll up the ante a bit and spend a bit more money, and that's what we've done. And we've been really lucky. We've got 2 horses that are going quite good. Reinvented myself. We're spending a little bit more money, so spending 15,000, 20,000 these days really doesn't cut it, and it's harder to find a horse in that bracket, and that's why we've upped the ante a bit. Well, I mean, I've been fortunate. I had a really good horse when I first came here, and a horse called Spirit of Oregon, and he actually bought the property for me. And so I started off with a horse like him, and I've sort of built from there virtually. It's taken a long time. My wife Jude, she's got a business, I've got a business. We combine those businesses and they're quite successful. And so we can go about doing things a lot more professionally now. You know, like we can spend a bit more money and have the facilities that we want. I've got good staff. I've just employed Craig Franklin, and Craig brings a lot of experience to the game as well, because he was a jockey, so I have what I consider to be a really good team around me.
As you can see when you come in, it's a very wholesome environment. Dave and the kids and Jude and whatnot, we're all sort of working together and getting things done, and it's a good place to work. The environment's good, the atmosphere's great. I mean, you get that country atmosphere where it's not too, you know, hustle and bustle and things when you've, like I've ridden at all the big tracks around Australia and whatnot, and when you're in Sydney, you've got a lot of traffic and all these sort of things happening, and it can fire the horses up. And I mean, for them it may work, but when they come to the country and they're a bit more relaxed, and you've got facilities like we're putting in a swimming pool now, we're only 20 minutes from the beach if you want to take them there and work them. The track is virtually empty, so you've got the entire track to yourself all the time, and it just keeps them calm and relaxed and cool.
My son Archie was an alligator blood fan, and we had to have a look at the all too hards, and we had a look at a few. There was a half a dozen there. Most of them I didn't like, but I really liked this little fella, and he was little, and we got him, that's why we got him a little bit cheap, because he was on the small side. Santa, really professional. You know, he handled the pressure of the sales really well. I like that. His legs were, he had good legs, he had great eye, and good conformation. His only fault was that he was tiny. Yeah, you got to hope that they grow, obviously, but and he has. He's not a tall horse, but he's well put together.
Yeah, no, he's a pretty casual character. He when it comes to work and that, he's very cool, calm, collected. But he's 99% bomb-proof, because when you're not watching and he's feeling a bit good underneath you, can bound around a bit. So you do have to have your wits about you. You wouldn't want to go to sleep on him, but generally speaking, he's a pretty casual dude. No, I rode him a couple of times very early on, just as a supplementary rider when Dave was sort of needing a rider and things like that. But the last 2 weeks I've started with Dave and on a consistent level in the stable, and I've picked him up from there. He's been pretty good. We're getting on pretty well at the moment. 1,400 metres is going to suit him down to the ground. That's where he is in his races, watching the races and things like that. Once he balances up is when you see his real turn of foot, and in his work he's very calm and collected. I think he'll probably end up getting further than that later on. He's probably going to be a really nice miler with a bit more maturity under his belt. This horse is exciting, has been since day one. He takes, you know, the next step every time we throw. We take that step, he steps up. Look, you know, we're getting into races now that are obviously a lot harder, but he is a nice horse. I think he'll take that step. I wouldn't, look, when we get to the Magic Millions, there's going to be a lot of southern horses coming up, and for me, they're an unknown quantity. So it's a little bit
I suppose, a little bit daunting in that respect, but he'll certainly present himself well. I think that the distance, the 1400, will suit him down to the ground by then. He's already I think, you know, his work is indicating to me that he probably wants a little bit longer, longer distance. So look, he'll acquit himself well. To be honest with you, when we bought the horse, I didn't think we would be at this milestone, but we're there. We're going to give it at the best shake we can. We've done everything we possibly can with the horse, and he's presented well. You know, after that, I suppose it's in the lap of the gods. But